Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so sorry. I'm actually waiting for our guests to join us, but good morning. We are on day 2 of the Cost of Freedom, and today I just really want to chime in with you. Just let's just set up this space right now. Whatever it is that you are thinking about, whatever's been cluttering you, let's release ourselves from that point, and just come in, and set ourselves up for what is to come. Right? Come in and set ourselves up for what is to come. Um, I know you all are really busy, so I never set myself up to waste your time. But what I would want you to know is that this is your season. So the cost of freedom, this is our year 2 with cost of freedom. And so on this year, as we're stepping in, hold on, our guest is here, and I'm about to let him on up in the space, y'all. I am so excited.
Hello, hello. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
I
So,
apologize. I was trying to figure out this app. I've never used it.
mm-mm. For me, hold on, let me finish with just coming into this space. I want to make sure I let you all know that this is your season, right? When we're talking about the cost of freedom, this has been our second year on the cost of freedom. And if you pay attention, I do this before we jump into the Juneteenth weekend where everyone is having these festivals, we're all celebrating freedom, right? We're celebrating freedom, but we have to talk about the cost of freedom. We have to talk about the journey to get to freedom, the journey to produce the record, the journey to open a business, the journey to being a good father, a good mother, a steadfast husband or wife, the journey to being a philanthropist, to being a missionary, to having vision, right? Intentional vision, not just wasteful vision. What I say to you all is, even yesterday, we talked a little bit about, think about the fact when we're talking about it arriving in this nation for emancipation, somebody had to not get in a car, not get on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, but they had to get on a horse or get on their feet, and they had to journey a long way, right? Journey a long way in a nation that said that these people, those people don't deserve or not human or not capable of even understanding what it is to possess this. When we talk about Israel, when we talk about that journey, right, from limits and limitations into freedom, there was this place called the wilderness they got stuck in. And I need you all to understand that this getting stuck in the wilderness is getting stuck in your mind. This getting stuck in your wilderness is getting stuck in rituals. Because, and when the emancipation reading came down, when these peoples actually were able to be free in body, right? Because the mind had not even began to be free yet, but in body, they still got stuck in a wilderness, because now you have to be able to get out on this land and set up your own homes, your own house, and figure out what it is to work in the land when you were stolen from your own land. Stolen. Are y'all hearing me? So we're here in this space, and your only thing stole from you is what you allow to be stole from you. The only thing that's limited in you is what you allow to be limited in you. Because when you were created, when you were formed, when you were bred life into, when you were set up to be the head. You were set up to go before and not be behind. You were set up to run this race in a way that you were going to be victorious. And so let me tell you a little bit about the guest that's here on this line, right? So first off, this is Jessie V. And get it. Some of you that know me from the past, you know me from childhood. The Platt is my marriage name, right? That's the name from when I got married, the name that I took on that my children carry. Two of my children carry that name. But my last name is Vassar, right? That original, that foundational name. And Jessie is the cousin who is connected to that. And even as we talk about that, and we talk about your mind being free, because people can steal the name from you, people can steal the history from you and divide a family that was supposed to smoothly operate together, but we operate the way we originally was supposed to, right?
Hmm.
Just so
Right.
This is my little cousin. This is my little cousin that still no fighter boo with the hands, not fighter boo in the spirit, right? But let me tell you something, because even more, like other guests can come on. I've had a couple family members that I brought you several times. This little cousin, I watched his gift be expounded upon. I watched him be humble, even when words were spoken against him, even when there were trials and tribulations right before him, even when he was moved to a new land in a new place with a new people. I still watched him sit and hold space in the presence. I don't even think to the fullness he knew he was still being occupied by the Spirit of God, the creative spirit, the nurturing spirit, the loving spirit, right? I don't even know if he knew the fullness at that period of time. So I was big cuz, and I was coming to hang out with little cuz, right? And spending time. And it was so valuable to me to be able to pour into him, to see him, to love him, to just hold space, right? Not take away space from him, because I seen that there was a storm that had already been brewing and there was more to come. So Jessie V, right? Jessie V W-U-N. He gonna tell you a little bit about that. Not only just W-U-N. See, I'm going through all the initials. Not only just D.L.I.D. I'm talking about a father, a minister, a husband, a son, a brother. I'm talking about, like, y'all already know, I told y'all he a cousin like no one. But what I'll tell you is he's humble. I've done several ministry. Jessie, I am not trying to move you off screen. Something keep happening.
You're okay.
But I will tell you that we've done a lot of work in Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas area. Have talked about some stuff all over the nation that we're going to get our hands into. He's already been on that move. I've been on the move myself in that realm, but we have not yet expounded together and being able to exploit these lands where people's hearts need to be touched. So Jessie, come on in and talk about you, man. Come on in.
Well, first I want to say thank you for having me as a guest, and it is an honor. I've been waiting for this day. I actually thought it was tomorrow. I got up, I started working out, and I seen the thing. It said 7:30 on the 13th. I said, "Oh, that's today!" So I started rushing to get everything together, and I was like, "Man, I can't miss this. I want to be on there. I'm so excited." But I want to say thank you first, Queen, for allowing me to be on your platform. This is a very beautiful platform you have going here. It's amazing. I've been watching since day one how you've been doing your thing. But a little bit about me is, I'm, like she said, I'm her younger cousin. That's Gangsta Boo to me, everybody that don't know. But yes, I'm a peculiar type of guy. I try to sense what I can use out of people as far as information to get me to where I need to be. So I'm like a sponge, is what you can call me. I'm a sponge. I soak up information that can be utilized to help my mission from everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You don't have to be a millionaire. It doesn't have to be have this. It can be a poor person, rich person. It could be a person that's smart, a person that's evil. I learned something from everybody. But I'm on this mission of dropping this album on Father's Day, Pedantically Chosen. And the reason I believe God has given me this information to drop this album is because to be chosen, everybody must understand that word chosen. It's a different from the others. We all are God's children, but when you're chosen, it's a different structure, it's a different standard. Like you said, that transformation of that mind, that mindset. We got to talk about that mindset when you're thinking of being chosen. Everything has to be in a different perception. Yesterday, Sunday, I was speaking at my dad's ministry at his church, Rock of Praise Ministry, and I was talking about an enlarged territory or how to be blessed. an enlarged territory. Everybody think that it's about the biggest house, the nicest car, the finest materials we can put on. That's what we want when we say our territory is enlarged. But to be chosen, we must understand our territory to be enlarged is from information. We have to be informed. That's why this pedantically chosen came about. It's about information that can be traveled through different ways. Like I got a song on there. It's called the Holy Ghost Dance. Some people don't even know nothing about the Holy Ghost Dance, but to present it to the world, right, right. But it's something to present to the world as a dance, to get not only the church realm, but others that are trying to seek the church realm attention as well. Then I also have a song on there called "Set Free" with this guy from Texas, Houston, Texas, to be exact. And it's talking about being set free from all the chains, the boundaries, the worries, and really being leveled up in the minute in your mind and your mission, to be set free from everything. And that's what we were telling you. This podcast is about the free, being free, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the song was speaking about. Our mind can be trapped. It can be in imprisonment, even though we are in this free world. You know what I'm saying? The things that bound us down is what makes us not be free from sin. That's what traps us. And the song is talking about being set free from everything that traps the mind, that blocks the mind from getting revelations from God.
You know, right there where you're right there. So there's a few things that I can list right now that get us in a point where we're not free, right? We cannot
Right.
be free by the wrong information, right? To get the wrong information, right? So
Yeah.
even when we go back historically, like just we can swing back. If my information is my help come from them and not
Wow.
my help come from God, then I'm relying on them, right? So relationship information, right? If you think about, like they said, you all can choose to be free, not that you all are free, right? That's
Right.
different information, right? Like you still
Right.
owe me because you've been staying here, but so you can
Right.
work the land, but you know, just pay me a little bit.
Wow.
Information is very important, right? So if you feel I'm not enough, right? I'm not enough, you're going to operate in limits and limitations instead of like you're more than enough, right?
Wow.
You're going to let them put you in a place, right? And so when you're talking about this record, let's go back to Pedantically Free, right? When we think about this, right? Those are pedantically talks about in neat, like it's strategic, chosen, in neat, intrinsic things within the decision within those people, right? So it's very intentional when you think about the design of you, when you think about why you were chosen, what you were chosen to do, right? You were not chosen just so you can be. You're not
Wow.
chosen just to be. There was an intentional purpose where God crowned me, or where to be hired for a position, right? They say, oh, I want her for this position because she is ... right? Not that she
Right.
can fill the position. I don't need a seat filler, right? Your employer doesn't need a seat filler. And so people are being employed and being seat fillers when they were hired intentionally. They were chosen intentionally.
Right.
Your significant other, you need to get back to the significant other. Why did you choose me? Why did you choose me out of everybody you could have chose? When
Yeah.
Jesse chose Iisha, he chose her for a reason, right? When we think about that, we talking about the record that's being released. Every song on this record was chosen for a reason, right? Every song. Every person that you chose to collaborate, you cannot, in this season, you all, right, to get free from bondage, to get free from rituals, to get free from relationships, to get free from limits, right, confusion, procrastination, you got to choose differently, right? So Some will say, well, I got to be at work at 8, so I'm going to get up at 7, or I'm going to get up at 6:30, right? But be honest, if it takes you 30 minutes to get in to your job, when you get up, you only actually have an hour of your time to yourself to even do anything. And you really ain't got an hour because you got a shower to take, you got clothes to get ready. So you haven't even given the mind space. You haven't even given the mind space, and you mad because you're going to work and you're reacting to them because you haven't grabbed hold of you. And so the mind hasn't been given free. So everything about this, when he chose this labeling, as I looked at it, because I'm a wordsmith, so I have to understand why he put those two words together. And so it's intentional. It's innate. Everything about it is specific. There's everything about the choosing of you was specific. Everything about the choosing of the children that you gave birth to was specific. See, I'm messing up words. Specific. So think about it. You have these gifts called every name of your children that you got that were given for you. Every young person you've ever worked with. Every platform you ever had the opportunity to go on. There were intentional. Those people, those minds, right? That community was specific. You were chosen to go in and shake up shackles and chains and speak life into them so that they can grow and flow. Come on, talk to me, because I'm sitting here. You know, I get hyped.
Wow. No, that's it. In order to know that I was pedantically chosen, my mind had to be free. I had to be free from those things that was keeping me. And like you said, that was intentional. Everything that happened on the mission before I realized that I am free. Like you said, these people give us wrong worded information. You can be free. No, you are free.
Mm-hmm.
You are free. Not you can. You were born free. Because people will start to thinking, I choose this. No, you don't have to choose anything. Walk in your manifestational vision that God has given you. Wow. But this free, to be set free, to be set free is a trends. I'm talking about that on Wednesdays. Your mind has to be in a trance every day. That's why I say you have to die daily. Daily submission has to happen. In order to submit to something, you have to let go of something. So it has to be daily dying, so that trance that you're in can continue. That's why I said be renewed. Transform your mind. Transform your mind by the renewing of your mind. Transform. That trance has to happen. The trance is the connection that holds that vibration in that aura and that wave that he sends the revelation. If you're not in that trance, you can't realize that you're free. It's all type of trances. Go ahead.
But hold on, because when you talk about the trance, right? The trance is a focus. There is a focus, right?
Wow.
The focus for better, the focus for more, right? The focus for growth, and the trance, right? And so some of us are still in the mindset of childhood, right? Poor me, trauma, brokenness.
Wow.
They left me. They didn't see me. They didn't understand me. And so you can't be transformed because your only focus is on what was. But a mind that's transformed because there can be more. There's potential for more. I have faith. I have faith that I'm becoming somebody else. I have faith so much that as I'm speaking to you right now, when I look forward or I look this way, there's vision boards on my wall where I see something. Right? Where I see your voice counts, where I see be the change, where I see influence, endurance, enlighten, where I see bright days ahead, right? When I look forward, regardless of some of you are looking to look forward at what somebody else got in this season, right? For you, the cost of freedom, right? To understand that you were chosen and you were meant for something better, you got to look forward to what's in you. So I know when I look forward and I look this way, I think what I'm thinking, what I'm speaking is bringing about goodness. I see global leader on my wall that said a mastered global leader. I see get it right. Get it right. fulfill it, work it, show it, get it right, right? When I look over this way, I have a picture where I ran for city council, right? It says change maker. A butterfly sits beside it on one side. The words say, action now, change maker. Action now, change maker. And so for me to find these when I was creating a vision where I had to see these. Ooh. For me to find these when I was creating the vision board, I had to see going through newspapers, magazines, and what was popping out at me, right? What was popping out at me, because there was a group of other women. And one of those times when I was making vision boards, there was a group of other women that were seeing other things, because it was what was popping out of them. It was what they were able to see. It was what they were focused on. So they were in a trance because there was a vision that they wanted to have created. And if their vision was on what they didn't have, they wouldn't have been able to receive what they needed to have.
Good God.
So when you talk about that trans piece, I love that you were able to bring that piece out, because some of us are not in a trans. Some of us are not abiding. We're wavering.
Right.
We're wavering. Last night I sat on a coaching call where I'm being coached. Coaches get coached.
Yes.
Coaches
Yes.
get coached. Enlighteners need to be enlightened. Healers need to be healed. So I'm sitting on a call, and as I'm sitting on a call, see, I need y'all to understand the cost of freedom is vital for each and every one of us. I'm sitting on a call with my daughter in the emergency room, because she's in a car yesterday, and the car rolled over. The car rolled over. Or you get me? The car rolled over. So I'm sitting in the car in the emergency room. But if you want something different, you got to do something different. Because I could have been sitting in the emergency room, sitting in worry, sitting in frustration, sitting in confusion, sitting with tears running down my face, when I knew my Alpha and Omega, my Father, who is the beginning and the end, who is my healer, who is my protector, who already wrote out a covenant of what she will become. I could have been sitting doubting him by sitting there letting my body go into chaos and madness, because I became overpowered by what I was seeing and not what I was being. I was sitting right there in the room with her. I was on this call. Right there in the room with her. I was on the phones plugged in. But I'm going to tell y'all, the mind went under attack. Jessie, my mind went under attack as I was sitting there on that call. Why did my mind go under attack? Because are you being a good mother while you here on a call? Why would you be on this call while you in the emergency room? Your daughter just had, and God had to say, God went on and said to me, you at the emergency room. You're in the room with her. She's right there doodling, playing on her phone. She's right there. You're sitting right before her. She can touch you. That's how close you sitting to her. But when you turn this word on that you getting from your coach, and she can hear what your coach is feeding you, she getting fed too. She getting empowered. She getting focused too.
Yes.
Oh no, you doing just what you supposed to do. But he said something to me on the call, because he asked us about some of the things we're struggling with, or some things that we look back on and some doubts we have. And I was able to say to him, I chose the wrong relationship, because I wasn't waiting on God to show me the right relationship. And I feel broken because I shouldn't have allowed him to have space with me, because he wasn't even the one to be equally yoked with me. And he could never empower me to be all that I was called to be. And
so
I can find myself mad at him. I can find myself mad at him and his brokenness, but my job was to minister to him, not be his girl. I was supposed to be ministering to him, so I can hold me, and I can feel this in me. And he said to me, he said, "Don't be mad at you. Don't be mad at you. Don't be mad at you. Your job is only to connect to that which is part of the destiny. Your first two is to connect to God. Your second, Regina, your second, my daughter, come on, let's talk. Your second is to connect to your purpose. You can't connect to your purpose, to your man, your future, before you connect to the purpose. First connect to God, first connect to purpose, then connect to the person.
There it is.
If you connect to the person before you connect to purpose, you'll end up with the wrong purpose. Because the wrong person, because you ain't doing your purpose. Because the person will be a part of the purpose and will help to enhance where you're going. So go and talk to me, because I was like,
But you know what you just explained? You just explained the cost of being free. It's the perception.
whew.
Your perception have to change of everything. That was one of my things I put on to enlarge your territory. In order for you to get greater, your perception has to change. It said, those who have ears, let them hear. When you hear something, even if it's wrong, even if it trigger you to make you pissed off, excuse my language, but yes, I'm just being honest. You gotta have to perceive it to where it's just there to build you. Everything that is here, your perception has to perceive it to is a building block.
Ooh.
You just explained that.
That's
you
the
explained
stepologist.
that.
Remember, I'm the stepologist, and we take steps, right? And everything is intentional. Every single part of it. I believe that I don't believe in failures.
Wow.
I believe that there's some things that happen that you may struggle with, but I don't believe you fail unless you give up, right? Because think about it. Life is a journey. Life is a journey. And it's a continuous flow of movement. And when you catch yourself stagnant, it reminds you that something ain't right. And sometimes in life, right, you get to a crossroad and you may take the wrong turn, but there's always another right turn after you've taken that wrong turn. You just got to choose what you believe you should do. And hear from the right people. Hear from the right people. We're connected. I told a group of young people, I was speaking at a commencement ceremony. I said, stop asking the janitor how to become the dream that you have. The janitor's not the engineer. You're asking the janitor how to become an engineer instead of asking the janitor for things about perfecting what the janitor is gifted at doing. But you're going to, and then you want to go to the engineer about what the janitor do. You're confused. Right? You're confused. You gotta find the right people. I don't have one person that mentors or coaches me. I have mentors that mentor and coach me. So a great person, Vassie, talked about that a mentor, right? So you have coaches, mentors, and you have sponsors, right?
Yes.
So on this path, the cost of freedom, right, means I gotta invest in me. I gotta invest in me. Right? To invest in me means I got to invest in being in connection with people who understand me, right? So the coach is going to walk this with me. The coach is with you, taking steps with you, having conversations with you, right? The coach is kind of like mom and pops, but the coach, you're accountable to the coach. And then you have your mentor, right? Your mentor is going to say, yeah, you can do that. They're going to have a conversation with you because you already see what they're doing. They've done. They've accomplished what you want to accomplish, right? So they've already gone before you. So they don't have to walk with you. Their job is to ask the questions that make you think, that open you up to go the whole way and then come back. They come back like, hey, so how did it go? They don't go every step of the way. They like, how did it go? Did you go apply for that job like I told you to apply for that job?
Right.
They're not going to apply for the job with you. But then you got the sponsors, right? The sponsors actually go before you. They already done it, right? The mentor already had one before, but the sponsors is going in rooms because they got influence. They got the cash flow that's needed. And so they're talking your name up at the table, right? They're coming in with the record. They coming in with your music, right? Your new album. They already like, this one's hot right here. This one right here, you need to get this one right here. They don't know everything about you, but they believe in the vision of you. This one right here, this business right here, right? This cake right here. Woo-wee, when she cooked that cake right there. This ministry right here, right? They're going before and they're putting your name at the table. They're using their influence or their finances, whatever their net worth is, they're using it to help you get somewhere, right? And some of us is hanging out with people who are using everything we got, everywhere we speak to help them get somewhere, and we're on empty while they full.
Wow. Wow.
You need the cost of freedom is that you're going to wrap around people that have already, their mindset has been expanded. Like you said, I like being able to learn to sit with people that can teach me stuff. I like being able to learn to pick up, but we have to be intentional. And I love you are very intentional with who we're picking up from, because we can be picking up somebody's brokenness and that hinder us. Instead of picking, because me sitting around men or women who say women ain't called to ministry, when I see that the Lord would use a rock if he need to use a rock. So I can't minister, but a rock can. You scared to hear a word from me? You would accept deliverance from a rock, but you won't accept deliverance from me because of the format that God allowed my spirit to come in the earth realm in? Because I was a spirit being before I ever entered the physical body. And so you can't take the God in me because the physicality of me. So you're putting limits on me, but I'm not supposed to put limits on my God. When I was made in the image of my God, I'm not supposed to put limits on him. If I allow you to put limits on me, I put limits on my God.
No limits, no boundaries in Jesus Christ. We got a song about that.
I know. I heard it. But come
no
on.
limits, no boundaries. That's real. You can't
talk a little bit more about the record. No, let's talk a little bit about Jessie, because people out here need to know that this is not a Jessie. This is not someone who is creating albums or trying to get his name out there. This is not who you are, right? This is someone who has true testimony in and out of the church. True testimony. This is someone, it was a song in the world, walk it like you talk it. Walk it like this is someone who has had to walk it like you talk it. This is someone who has been in a position where he has had his life thrown at him. I'm trying to figure out, y'all, this computer was trying to down the system. But he has had them pretty much want to lock him up and throw away the key. Come on, I need you to tell this, because I don't tell others testimonies. I need you to tell the testimony, because I'm over here in my head, Jessie, singing, never would have made it. Wow. Never could have made it without you. Yeah. I lost it all. But now I see how you were there for me. Oh, never would have made it. Never. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, this testimony is juicy. So I'm gonna be quiet. I need you to get this juice.
Well, those of you don't know, one of my testimonies is I was shot in the face with a 12 gauge. I was 17 or 18 years old, and I was shot in the head with a 12 gauge. But I still didn't learn my lesson there. I went to penitentiary about 3 times. Then I went to, I think it was Fulton County's jail cell in Georgia, and that's where I changed my life. That's where everything started to change. But coming up, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm from 43rd Street, 43rd and Montgomery, block off of Prospect. Those of you that's been in the Kansas City metro area, the dynamic streets of Kansas City, you know how it is around those areas. But yes, I've been through a whole lot. I've changed my life actually in prison. I was raised, my mom and dad, my dad and mom, my dad's actually a bishop. My mom's a first lady, but that didn't still change how me and my fellow brothers, siblings came up. We still were into the streets. We were into the crime and violence and things of that nature. And when I was shot, it was actually all over the news in Kansas City. Uh, we actually made the news a couple of times, me and my brothers, doing some radical stuff that was not of the spirit. But we were raised in the church. My grandpa was a deacon, and my dad's a pastor. I put that in one of my songs too. We lift in Jesus' name. But yeah, and I was raised in the church, but it was like when you forced to go to church all the time, every day, all day, you want to find to try to do something different. I know God is the way, but that's how we were. I was thinking at the time. We had to go to church Monday through Sunday. It wasn't a time that we were not in church, so that's why I fell into the streets. It wasn't that my dad was in the streets or my mom, but it was just that we were there too much. Every day, all day, we had church. We had Bible study. We had choir rehearsal. We had deacons meet. We weren't even deacons. We weren't even old enough to be deacons, but we was at church. We had deacons meet, all these meetings and stuff. But it forced us to be one, I guess, resentful of church. I didn't go when I got older. Once I started moving out of my mom and them house and start staying with other females and stuff, I didn't go to church. I was just in the streets, I guess, because that's what I was doing every day, all day. My dad had us in the church all the time, and it wasn't a bad thing. It was just we never did nothing else. We did church and music. I also was a part of a group when I was a child, and we was supposed to get signed, but again, we was still stuck in the church. And I'm a pastor, a preacher saying this, and I'm just being honest on how I was feeling at the time. I feel like at that time when I went into the streets, we was just watered down, drained with church. We didn't know nothing else. So we started seeking other things besides the church.
So question for you. What's the difference between religion and relationship? Because I noticed something when you got relationship, right?
Right. Ooh. The difference between religion is, hey boy, you gonna come to church. I don't care. You come to church now. That's religion making. That's not building a relationship. And then the relationship is, hey, I want to come to church because this is what I want to do. And then, but the religion thing about it, what I'm saying is, when the making somebody do something, that don't mean that they like to do it. That's religional. Cause I'm doing it, you gonna do it. That's how it is in everybody's household that I've been around. That their parent, if I'm going to church, you going to church. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's better to present and explain to the child. That's what I do to the children that I'm raising now. I explain to them. I break the Bible down. Not saying that my dad and them didn't break the Bible down, but I'm saying I explain to them why we doing this. You're not just making me come. I'm not making them come. I want you to know why we're doing this. Explain to you that you need a relationship. Show you what a relationship is. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad worked when outside of church. They was at work. So after the church, we was, you know what I'm saying? I was playing. My dad worked 24/7. He was the only worker. My mom was the inside house, a housewife. So that was the religion part about it to me is making. When you make somebody, it turns into a tradition. That's just traditional because I'm doing it, you doing it. But when you sit down and explain, that's just like about anything, drugs, sex, anything. When you explain it instead of telling them, you got to give an explanation. So it don't matter if it's a child or grown up, mid-age. Even God said it. He explained it to you why he wants you to be with him. He didn't just say, come on, follow me. No, I don't care what you say. No, this is it. No, he explained to you, said, because Satan is very powerful. This man is this thing that is against what I'm going for, kills, steals, and destroys. He explained it. But when you just make, it ain't gonna work. That's traditional.
It's a scripture in Psalms that talks about the power of life or death being in the tongue. And and that may not, but in Psalms as well, it talks about a soft word soothes a wrath, right? And so
Right.
as I went on my restorative journey, about seeing how my words can be used to restore and connect and assist people. Not that I do the healing for people, but as connect people's hearts so that they have the ability to heal. One of the things I watched was voice, right? Not only my voice, but my presence, just the very essence of my presence, checking myself, knowing that when I come in, people expect that love is showing up. People expect that safety is showing up. And so, whether inside the church or outside the church, I feel like in all aspects of our life, Christ must abide in us. The spirit, the true spirit, not this ritualistic spirit of Christ must abide with us everywhere we go. It must be fluent. And you know, I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I think I'm doing an awesome job. I think there'll be a walk for the rest of my life. I believe that the moment that we stop learning is the moment we begin to die, right? So whether it is talking about the cost of freedom in an intellectual world, secular set, or we're talking about within the ministry, if we're talking about within family and relationship and community, the moment you think you know it all, and I believe there became a generation that thought they knew it all when they came to our relationship with Christ, when it came to ministry. I believe there became a generation believed they knew it all when it came to family or how to raise kids or how to speak in them. I believe there was a generation that began to think they know it all. It is a generation when it came to educational sector because our kids are learning old stuff and AI is on the move right now, the development. And if our kids do not understand AI and have the creative piece of them enlighten and be connected to technology, our children, those communities that are not thriving in that area are going to waste away. We know that. We see that, right? We see that we got elders that don't even know how to pick up a phone and type in a message, how hard it is for them to communicate, or don't even know how to log on to the computers that we're using right now. It's causing them to lose connection with reality. And so I'm just in government. We're still trying to do things under broken laws that were entrapping, hindering, hating, limiting, and confusing the very nature, the very essence of what humanity was established to be. And we have people who are not even showing up, understanding their power to vote down those laws or to speak up and use their voice, because government only exists is because the people give power. And if the people stand up as a community and limit those actions and speak against those actions, they can be ripped down and reset in a way that will work for the people, not the persons.
Wow.
Hold on, we got some messages coming through. People tapping in. Isabel Black. That's my girl. Isabel Black. That's my girl. Okay, I'm sorry. Isabel, you know I'm going him. She said, good morning, beautiful people. Isabel actually asked about you the other day because we had a Safe in His Arms revival. You know, it was the second year for the Safe in His Arms revival. Isabel asked about you while we were there. She was like, where your cousin at? Cousin, we was in like a multicultural event. Think about praising the Lord where other languages are being spoken. We had interpreters to speak what was being spoken in the space. And I'm talking about praise and worship high. God was just, the Holy Spirit was just like sitting in place, like sitting on the place. Are you hearing me? And so she asked about you, and then she asked about you with BTBY, because we have those events that we put on. And she's like, where your cousin be at? Like, where he at? I was like, he doesn't live here. He lives in Houston. He lives here. I can't just be, unless I got finances, but you know that time is coming where finances will be available for us to be on the move in the way that we need to be on the move as well. He got a family with finances. He got to be able to do all that stuff. I can't expect him to just jump up. But But we're gonna do a virtual explosion, and I can't wait for that. I really would like to pop that off before August. I know that's last minute, you all, but y'all know we do big things at the last minute. So I really want a virtual performance of speakers and performers to come on. Isabel Black, that's my girl. That is my girl. Then let's get him here. Listen to her. She like, let's get him here. Isabel, the Becoming the Best You is going to be in August, so that may be the point where we can get you in here. If you're not on the move. But you all, I need you to know you're tapped into an awesome space. We have approximately 15 more minutes that we're going to go edit on. But I want you to know that it costs to be free. Freedom is not so. Jesse's new album is going to be releasing. He's going to actually tap that into the comments for us to make sure that we have it down, or send us a link where we can at least hit to one song. But you all, you need to get into this because this man is true to the work. The other part I need you to know, almost every event that I've showed up in Kansas City with him, done 2 to 3 a year within the Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas community. He as well in the Houston, Texas communities, Atlanta area. He does this at no cost. Like he's gathering the monies up and he's doing this at no cost. He's serving community at no cost. What he does, he has different ways of doing it with the selling of the records, the albums as he creates those. He has a clothing line as well that he's put together. Not only the clothing line, the bro will cook up some stuff if you hungry. But real talk, right? He understands what the mission looks like, right? We can't get to something if we're not willing to do nothing. Some of us have been sitting in our houses. Some of us has been sitting in our minds, right? And we're full of so much, but you're not willing to do what you need to do. Last night, I told my coach, he said, what is the thing that you're willing to do that you have not been doing? I said, Coach, I'm going to go in at least 30 minutes. I'm going to broadcast daily. I said, I don't know all what that feels like, but I'm going to give it 30 minutes. Just drop it with at least 30, where I'm coming in and doing messages of power. Good morning. This is Brianna Jones. I'm Sister CJ's daughter. I go to Open Arms. I know I do want to say, as a 18-year-old, this was very understanding and encouraging session. Me and my mother enjoy. Amen. Amen. Well, I'm going to call you BJ. BJ, you're going to learn today. And I thank you for tapping in. I need you to know that we are looking to actually make sure our young people within the community get the experience that they need. We want it to be relevant to you. We remember being 18 and people telling us what we couldn't do, people telling us what we wasn't good at. I'm going to tell you the same thing you're listening to right now is what people wanted to silence in me. And so there's a gift within you that God wants to use. People was calling it that I want to control people, when in reality, Jessie would tell you I always had the heart to love people. I wanted the best people. I would give to people what I did not have. And I'm being real. I'm talking about seeing people with no clothes and going to buy clothes, prom dresses, shoes. And I was a child myself. I'm talking about taking young people as a child, working in a community center, taking young people and cleaning them up in the bathroom and doing their hair because I didn't want them to be picked at. I didn't want them to be so I'm just telling you, this is true. This is nothing that's a show for anyone. I want breakthrough for everyone. I want release for everyone. And it starts with a step, right? It doesn't start with conquering the whole mountain. But if you can conquer each one of your steps, you can conquer that mountain and other mountains too. Because the mountain never realizes that you truly on the move. Come on. You just got to move fluently, step by step at a time. The tortoise wins while the hare is tired and leaned in. Come on, Jessie, give us this. Did you get us?
One with movement causes revelation. One without movement causes miserable life and trouble. Remember that. That's why it's one movement. Movement causes revelation, things to elevate, things to come to manifestation. Where there is no movement, there is nothing going on.
Well, I'm going to lose this weight through movement. I'm going to lose this weight through movement. Now, y'all going to see me And y'all just
What's
know
her
I'm
name?
human. Huh?
Isabel Black. Just talk to my cousin. We can work something out. I'm saying it recording. I don't. We can work something out where I can drive down there or something. Let's do something. I really want to do it. I love your podcast because this is very amazing. Like the lady was saying, it's learning something out. You know, you got people on here that's you pulling out some things that people need to hear. People need to hear these things, and you got a deep tone of vibration. Your vibration hits. It touch men and women. Touch men and women. So keep doing what you're doing. I love you, cousin. For real. Thank you for this opportunity being on here with you, Queen. For real. This was a blissful opportunity. I really appreciate it. Pedantically chosen on all platforms. You look up Jessive, just like it's up there on the screen. Jessie V is going to be out on Father's Day. The reason I put Father's Day is because I'm a father, and I believe it's time for us men to stand up as king. We chosen, all of us men are supposed to be leaders, and this is the honest God truth. You know why Miss Platt had to step up, step out, had to step up? Because us men is playing the background. That's why she had to step up. Now the women got to step up because we doing too much in the background. You got no men really in church. They in jail or on these streets. Now all these women is in the church. They got to stand up and do stuff that man's supposed to be doing. But it's good when we do see women that do that. Like you. You a queen. That's real talk. Keep up the good work. But that's why I chose it on Father's Day, and that's why the name came about that. Because men go through a lot of stuff. We go through a lot. And it's just being, I'm gonna be honest, I hope it don't mess up anything, but being black in America is crazy. You it's just there. I'm just being honest. It's a strike against you when you black in America as a man. You already have no accountability or capability of winning because of who you are and your identity.
I love to switch you on something when you just said that. You have the capability, but the mindset has to shift. Just because the only law that will remain is the law you believe should be maintained. And so they say I'm too black. They say I'm too short. They say my voice is too thick, right? But I know I was created for something greater. And so I will not settle. And I've had a life. I explained to someone the other day. I said I never realized that my family was going through financial struggles until I was married. And my husband said we were poor. When my father said we were poor, I said, I'm not poor. He used to tell me that as a girl. I said, I'm not poor. I'm middle class, right? But when I watched the man that I was connected to believe we were poor, it broke me. It broke me. When my father said it, it had me build myself up more. But when the husband, the man that I was called connected to as one with, right? And I shared what he shared, it broke me. It broke me. And that has been a fight of my life to strip myself and remove that from the mindset. Regardless of where you live, regardless of what you're going through, you are not that thing. You are not that.
Come on.
You're more than that, right? You are more than enough. You are a creator. You are filled with solutions. You are seeded with greatness. You are good ground. But if you don't see yourself as being good ground, right? When you're in a relationship where they say to you, if you act right, I'll do better, right? Where it's projected on you that if you change, then they can get it together. It was never your issue. It's a way to project it onto someone else instead of taking responsibility for oneself. And sometimes women, we will and men, sometimes you're saying it because you watch mama say some things, or you watch your sisters say some things, or you watch community say some things. But remember, she's a reflection of you. And woman, your job is to pour into him too. And if all you're doing is speaking against him, you're going to break him. Because I heard him say some things about what the men wasn't being. But the men were already broken in a home, because if they were raised in single mother homes, they were already raised with father absent. They were already raised with father locked up. They were already raised with father dead. dead. So they didn't have imagery of what they were supposed to be unless men in the community wrapped around them. And then they became a reflection of what did wrap around them or what didn't. If you're not intentional, you'll get whatever is happening. And so with the woman, your helpmate, right? Your enlightenment, your enhancer. So every word you speak, every act you do, everything you think sets you up to win. But it's hard to know what to win if you're in relationship with someone who's broken within, because he can't give you a vision because he don't even know he got vision in him. But you so busy trying to heal him and fix him that you're breaking you in the process too. So it wasn't you were broken when you got with him. You became broken because you tried to master him when your job was to master you.
Wow. Wow.
I told y'all sometimes I get a little hype, but I'm a
no, that was well needed right before Father's Day. Yeah.
So this weekend, I'm telling you, you got the record is releasing this weekend. We're not only having this Juneteenth weekend, like I said, the cost of freedom, right? The cost of freedom to have a good marriage. I'm gonna tell y'all, sometimes it's just woman, be woman, be woman, woman, be woman. Be filled of that glory. Be full of that peace. Be full of that righteousness. Walk in your essence. Be woman. Smell good. Look good. Make the food smell hecka good. I'm not telling you that it's a woman's job to cook, but baby, if you got them hands, I need you go on and feed that man. I just need you to get to the point where you let your heart breathe this weekend. You let his heart breathe this weekend, and you rejoice and let him know that he's a blessing into the house. If you don't think he a blessing into his house, why you got him in the house?
Got this curse all around your people.
You got women moving men in the house so that he can fill a void. He ain't filling a void, he making a bigger void. If he not supposed to be in the house, move him out, because you're not being an enhancer if you're breaking him and you're murmuring and complaining every time you come in connection with him. So you got him in the house. And if it's y'all house, then that means you're married to him. That means you chose this. Now be the light in this. Light out of darkness, what you gonna do? You're looking at what he ain't did, but what have you done? What are you doing? What are you saying? What's your vision? Because come on, it's Father's Day. And fathers need to be honored as fathers, not honored because he acted right or he said this right or he's daddy. This weekend, I need you just honor him because he the daddy. Just always daddy. Just honor him because he's daddy. Go on and shut it up. I know you want to complain because he didn't do this. Shut it up. This weekend, shut it down. You're honoring him because he's the daddy. It's Father's Day. It's Father's Day. It's Father's Day. Make sure the kids got a gift to give their daddy. I don't care if it's a car. It's Father's Day. Help them make something. You ain't got money to buy something. Help them make something. It's Father's Day. Teach your daughters.
That one action of, like you said, of you just letting them be the dad might change everything.
It might change.
Yeah.
Change doesn't happen in an instant. Change happens for you to actually hold on. I just lied. Change does happen in an instant, but you are unable to see it in an instant. You gotta wait for the progress to happen. So I need you to be able. My girl just tried. If you don't honor him, you aren't honoring your seed. Come on, my God.
Oh yeah, because that's who made it. That's who made it. Wow.
If you don't honor him, you're not honoring your seed. I told a brother this. I said, if you don't, he had biracial daughters, but he hated black women. I said, so you're telling your daughter she's not good enough. Regardless of how much your daughter's mixed with, she still is a black woman. So you're telling her she's not good enough. You're telling your son that the seed you came from ain't good enough. So what you're saying, you're projecting into the world, is that you are not enough. That you are not enough. And so I said to him, I said, and what you're saying to that woman, that white woman that you're with, she got to stay in a certain zone for you to be able to connect to her. And what you're saying is she'll never be enough neither if she don't fit into a system neither.
Wow. And he probably not seeing it like that. But that's
He
how
got
it is.
mad at me. He thought it was about biracial couples, but you know more than anybody, that's my family. I don't have anything to do with to hate a biracial couple, but I will have something to do with if you hate a woman or you disrespect a woman and treat her as less than a queen, but you call yourself the greatest being. I won't agree with that. So I'm gonna hold you accountable for that, right? And my job as an answer, as enlightenment, is to speak life into you, not to make you think I hate you. It's to love you. And part of love is that you're going to feel the pain before you get to peace. And you've not been in peace in yourself. So I had a word had to be spoken out of me to enter into you to be able to shake those seeds, the shelling off those seeds so that something can grow. Yes, seeds have shelling on them, but it's time they be removed because you can't be captured no more. It's time for you to flow.
Bro, yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm telling you, we still going. This is awesome. I am so happy. I wish we still had our Freestyle Fridays. Remember, we used to get it. But I need you all to look up this song. I need you all to look up this song. Not only look up the song, you can actually go to Jessie's page. It's Jessie V, VEA. You can look up online. He has it dropped there if you want to real quick find it.
Peace.
Huh?
Talking about peace.
Peace. No, your song.
Peace. The song Peace.
No, all your songs. Like they can look it up and go out as you drop it. But the thing, just don't go look it up. Pass it. Pass it. Pass it. Pass. Because the thing is, we're looking to grow. We're looking to grow this community. As I told you, he funnels back in through these songs. Albums that he's making, that's how he's able to provide for other people. And so he funnels this back in. And it's a blessing, right? We're all winning. The young people he's able to meet with and talk to, he's enhancement to, enlightenment to, is because he understands what darkness was like for him. He understands what it's like to be left off alone. He understands what it's like to be locked up and believe that you're locked out, but you're just locked up waiting for a release to happen. And when the release happens, move forward, right? We're not all going to be perfect, but we're going to be real. We're going to be real with you. I need you all to stay tapped in. We're going to get off here today. Make sure you have an impactful day. Now, tomorrow, tomorrow, bear with me because we going ham in this thing. We going ham. Y'all may just have Miss Regina here unless Miss Isabel Black wants to join me. And I do need Miss Isabel Black to join me at 7:30 in the morning so we can get it in. Go and send me that picture, Miss Isabel Black, so you can be on with me tomorrow so we can get this conversation in. I'm ready. Say, I'm a winner. I am a winner. I'm a winner. I am a winner. All right, Jessie, I love you. I love you. I love you. And thank you. Until next time, my friend.
Love you. All right, cousin.